at y'all today with another video. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me while I discuss like everything going on in the media and my thoughts on the whole coronavirus thing, backed up with some facts and evidence. A disclaimer,
I am not a doctor.
I am not a scientist.
I just thought I would jump on the bandwagon of the coronavirus while I had the chance, and maybe we can start a discussion below. A lot of people are blowing things out of proportion. I know there's a lot of misinformation, so any information that you can share down below, please go right ahead and do that. And before we get into the video, make sure that you hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and make sure to put on the notification bell so you can be in the loop when I post more videos. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, if you guys want to hang out with me and talk that shit, let's get into the video. So if you can already tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about the coronavirus, just like everybody else's. And honestly, this is trending right now. I'm like, let me just jump on this and, you know, give in my 2 cents.
They don't come to $10 for nothing.
God, okay, so as you can see, we're in a different setting. We're in my living room area. I don't really have a filming setup. I just kind of do whatever I feel that day. I've already done my eyebrows, that's why
She's looking a little brazy up in here.
but if you can already tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about the coronavirus. I just want to talk about the mass hysteria of it all and maybe kind of start a conversation of whether or not you believe we should be worried, or do you think this is just another H1N1 SARS mess. So obviously, like, there's a lot of questions, and I'm no scientist, I'm nothing like that, but obviously, just as everyone else has, I have been reading articles. You can't believe everything that you read online. I just know that there's a lot of different people with a lot of different views on the situation. So in this get ready with me, I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics palette, and I got this from Winners, you guys. It was $10. I opened it and I saw all these colors. I kind of swatched it as well. So we're wondering why coronavirus is rampant. People just are out in Winners contaminating that shit, swatching that shit. Like, it's insane. But yeah, I got this off the shelf of Winners, so if I show up in a few days from now with coronavirus, just know. Yeah, I'm not really going to be telling you every color I dip into. Just know that I am using this palette and I do love the colors, and will teach you guys a few techniques throughout the video. But what I really want to talk about is what's important, and that's on videos like this. I don't want to be out here spreading false knowledge. I'm no doctor. Disclaimer, I just wanted to give my personal 2 cents. We really only know about this as much as the news and the government are telling us. In my opinion, that's kind of scary because we do rely so much on the government. As much as you can't believe everything you read on the internet, you also can't believe everything the government says, and it's kind of like the blind leading the blind at this point. As much as we can take in everything from books and learn new things, you only know as much as you can learn in a lifespan. A scientist that's 38, 40, 50 years old, I don't care how long you studied, I don't care what you know, like, to just put your lives in the hands of like science or what the media or government has to say, I think that's a little bit crazy, and we need to really learn, especially in 2020. One of my biggest lessons has been, you know, think for myself. I've heard conspiracies where this is a social experiment to see how we would react when we feel like our lives are threatened, and our safety and our food supply and life as we know it, pretty much. I've heard that this is a government plant. I've heard that this is the ending of time and Christ is coming back. I've heard a lot of different theories, and to be honest,
Something's the fuck up.
this is a pandemic worldwide, so I do think it is a really interesting time in history. If you're a 90s baby, 80s baby, 70s baby, like, the things we've seen in our lifetimes are absolutely fucking crazy. From the turn of the century, the creation of the World Wide Web, our first black president, becoming president. There's so much history that's happened in your lifetime and mine. It's just kind of hard to keep up with all the advancements. I feel like even if this was a bigger crisis than we even know today, we're still learning a lot about this virus. We don't even have a cure for it, and even though they have some beliefs and have some statistics and things like that, they don't know everything about this virus, which is what's really scaring everybody, I think, and putting us into mass hysteria, which is not only affecting our day-to-day lives, like school's been canceled, Coachella's been canceled, the NBA has been canceled, borders are closing, entire countries are being quarantined, there's travel bans. Like, this is serious. And even though we have seen epidemics like this in the past with SARS, with H1N1. I don't feel like it's been to this magnitude, and part of me believes that it is partially to do with social media, because social media just really hypes things up and magnitudes things, and being so close-knit and like having such access to the internet, again, you can't rely on these sources, and you really just have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, whether it's the coronavirus or the next disease or World War III or whatever. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so I hope that for a lot of you like me, this virus is a wake-up call to what's really important in life. Now that travel's being banned, these superficial experiences like Coachella and things like that, those are being banned. It really gives us time to reflect on what's important at the end of the day. Let's just say this pandemic's a lot worse than we ever thought it could be. Where do you want to be at the end of your days? And I've recently moved home, and at first, I'm somebody who experiences extreme FOMO, which is like fear of missing out. So I always want to be like up in the hype, going to like fly parties, meeting celebrities,
Doing the damn most.
at a point in my life, that was really like where my head was at. But after this, I realized the value of like family and community. When something like this that's so global at this magnitude happens, you really don't know what to expect, and having the support of loved ones is very important at this time. It's rare for me to actually do a brown neutral look. I love color.
Coronavirus!
I saw the funniest meme. It's like,
I used to cough to cover up a fart, but now I fart to cover up a cough.
I was freaking weak, you guys. That had me weak. Some of the stuff I read, you guys, it's so funny to me. People are really tripping. Experts claim that this pandemic started in Wuhan, China, and it is said that it derived from exotic animals like bats and the consumption of exotic animals, which is definitely something that they practice in China. I'm gonna go off on tangents. I'm more talking about like the social issues and the culture. I'm on social media. I know what's trending. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, and I just want to talk about what kind of effect media is having on us. Without the media, most of us probably would have thought we had the flu. We wouldn't have even known there was a virus out. It would have taken a lot of time for us to realize like what a pandemic this was without the government and the media hyping it up. I am appreciative that science has come far enough for us to be able to recognize these things from early on, so that we can find a solution and a vaccine to fix it. As of today, I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I don't know how fast this is spreading. I don't know the magnitude of this crisis, but today we know that there are 132,000 people infected, and 5,000 of those people have passed away from the virus. There are more people recovering from this probably without even knowing about it than there are people dying. The thing that is scary about it though is it is highly contagious and it does spread fast. I guess the big question is, should we be scared of the virus? And in my humble opinion, I think we should be cautious. I think we should be aware. I think we should take precaution. Live for today, plan for tomorrow. Always make sure you're prepared in these situations and you can provide for your family and survive without going crazy. And we need to remember that we're not the only ones in this country. So I think one of the biggest dangers with this virus is the mass hysteria. People are really out here buying up all of the supplies, all of the resources, and leaving nothing really for others. And we have to remember that we're not the only ones at this time who are scared. We're not the only ones who have children to feed and need toilet paper, cleaning products, and the basic necessities, canned food. You're not the only ones. So I think the mass hysteria is really causing people to panic buy, when really and truly we don't know enough to be at the point where we're panic buying everything in the nation. Even though I have made a conscious effort to dare I say quarantine myself. Like, I don't leave my house unless I have to. I'm not going on public transit and things like that. I can't risk my health, and like, I don't want to be paranoid, but at the end of the day, I do want to be aware, taking the precautions that need to be taken to make sure that I'm safe during this time. And I think that everybody should feel the exact same way. One thing I will say is the easiest way to control somebody is with fear. And we put a lot of trust in like the government when really the government can't even figure out what the frick is going on, or we'd have a vaccine for it. As much as we can claim that we know a lot about this, it is a new virus and you never know what can happen down the line. And as far as vaccines go, it takes a while for us to even know that it works, and it takes years and years and years and years to know the side effects of a vaccine. So I think there's a lot to really consider in all of this. We're sheep and we do believe everything they tell us in the media. We know this could be straight up population control. We do need to think for ourselves, and that's like one thing that people are failing to do. I'm a little more scared when they start closing everything down. There's no food on the shelves in the stores. You can't even get toilet paper to wipe your booty hole. Like, seeing people fight over toilet paper and hitting each other in the heads with cans of soup, like, that's what really scares me, is the hysteria of it all. People buying up all the resources. It's just like, that's not gonna help you survive at doomsday, baby girl. With all due respect, you can buy all the food in the world, but when people go into survival mode, it's not gonna be a matter of who has the most canned goods. I do wanna stay home. Like, I do wanna make sure that I'm in my car instead of on transit. I would go on transit if it was gonna be quicker, or if I knew I was gonna be drinking out or anything like that, but I'm at a point where I don't even go out to the clubs because everything's closed. People are saying that, oh, it's hardly contagious, it's like the common flu, but like, we don't know enough about it to really be saying that it's nothing to worry about. And the way this is spreading, and I know a lot of us have older people in our lives, grandparents, parents that are in the age range who have compromised immune systems or bad lungs or things like that. So we definitely need to worry and protect those people, protect the weak. I've noticed a huge increase in like racist posts, racist tweets, just racism in the media since we found out that corona was originated in China. I see people all over Facebook smearing and dissing Oriental people or Chinese people based on the foods that they eat and their culture, when a lot of people don't realize that we're freaking spoiled here. We don't even know the meaning of survival. So buy all the canned food, all the that you can buy up the nation, because at the end of the day, a lot of you don't know a thing about survival, and you can't even think for yourselves, let alone survive for yourselves and doomsday. Like, are you crazy? This virus sees no color. A disease sees no color. I've seen a lot of racism towards Chinese people, and I just feel very bad when it comes down to survival, which y'all know nothing about with your pre-packaged, pre-butchered meat. A lot of you guys are buying cuts of a cow. These people have to slaughter the whole cow and make cuts for themselves. Like, we are so spoiled here. I highly doubt that a lot of you would be eating meat if you actually had to get up off your ass and go and hunt that yourself. China doesn't have the FDA up their asshole every 5 seconds making sure that huge wet markets are controlling their cross-contamination, their germs, their disease. People will be slaughtering animals right at these markets, all different breeds, and their blood is mixing together. It is very disturbing. We need to figure out a way to like educate these people and make sure that there's better protocols in place so disease like this doesn't break out, you know? And it's like easier said than done. But if you see that a lot of disease and stuff is coming from your country, you need to look at the situation and understand that, A, it's not really helping your economy when every few years a fatal disease is breaking out. So maybe you guys need to put a little more protocol in place and make sure that things are as so. That's not how it is. That's not the reality of it all. And not every Chinese person is infected with this disease. So I really think you should look at mistreatment of our Oriental people as a hate crime. It's not necessarily their fault that this whole pandemic came to be, and I think it's crazy to just blame one race. At least this taught you guys to wash your freaking hands. Now I'm going to do the bakey bakey with this Banana Dreams powder. The fact that billion-dollar industries are closing down and gas prices are at an all-time low, this is really affecting our economy. The fact that this is all happening so rapidly is just scary. Let's be real, this hasn't happened in all the ages of history. This is kind of a new vibe. When I go out into the streets, it's just very dismal. Another thing that's crazy, this is more if you're Canadian, but Canadian Tire is literally sold out of every gun and every flashlight. I don't know if they're restocking that. I don't know what the status is today. We don't have the same gun laws as America. It is very hard to get a gun license in Canada. So I really do think people are going into a frantic mode where they are seriously preparing for doomsday. I feel like the younger generations are just like making memes at this point. I think it's like a bit of a joke, but the generations that like lived through SARS and H1N1, I think they're a little bit more worried for our well-being. More people are infected with HIV and AIDS than people who are infected with the coronavirus. Yet y'all are buying out every face mask, every toilet paper, and you still won't wear a goddamn condoms. We need to put things into perspective, and as much as it's good to be informed, like over consuming media and doing what I did, watching The Contagion and freaking I Am Legend, because those movies are gonna scare you into thinking that that's real life, when really and truly we don't know enough about this at this point. Let's be honest, the symptoms aren't turning us into zombies. So I think because the media is pumping this up, there were NBA players who got it, Tom Hanks got it, even Justin Trudeau's wife was diagnosed with coronavirus. So I think the media is showing a lot of people coming forward, and each day there's more cases. People are getting scared because yes, it is spreading. Yes, it's going to spread. It's a fast spreading virus and they don't know the freaking vaccine or cure for it. So yeah, it's gonna spread, but like we need to remember it's like the flu, and the flu passes a lot of the time without care and medication. And I bet a lot of y'all motherfuckers are running around these streets with coronavirus infected and you don't even know it. You're just posting memes. So if Tom Hanks got it, if all these NBA players are coming forth, if
Justin Trudeau's wife
is coming forth saying they have coronavirus,
Hide your kids, hide your wife. Corona's getting everybody out here.
honestly, it just seems like history repeats itself. A few years we were all running around in a circle screaming about swine flu. Then all y'all heathens stopped eating pork, and since then pork's pretty much been the devil. I don't know where in the symptoms of coronavirus does it say diarrhea is a side effect, but why are we buying out all the toilet paper? I haven't even bought toilet paper. Like, I'm not trying to brag or anything. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't bought any toilet paper though. What the hell? I got real bills out here. If it really hits the fan and you think I'm not going back to my family, y'all are bugging. So I pretty much packed that onto my lids. This palette has hella fallout, but I found that by like wetting the colors it kind of works, and I do still think the shadows are kind of cute. I can work it. I'll probably use it again. So am I personally scared of corona? I'm not scared of getting sick. It will suck because I do have a lot of loved ones that I really love to visit, so to have to be in quarantine and not be able to see like my family, that'd be really tough. But I'm not scared. I take the precautions necessary. I still go out, but I make sure that I'm washing my hands, and I'm not just out like I used to be. I'm not going to, you know, the vape lounge or the hookah lounge and sharing mouthpieces with people. I'm not doing the things that I used to do on a daily basis. All right, so there's the eye makeup. It's just kind of like a little brown moment, a little bronze moment, if you will. I'm gonna go and do my liquid eyeliner, and I'll be back with ya. I definitely, like, I'm not out in the gym or at the nightclub or doing things that I necessarily would normally maybe want to do. I really don't feel like the fear of missing out, which is one nice thing about corona. The government is saying that if the virus continues to get bad, they're going to be offering some social assistance and putting things in order where people don't have to pay their mortgages and we're not going to suffer from rent. And honestly, if I could get a few months of chillin', a few months off rent while they sort this out, I'm not gonna complain. I do say I'm not worried now. Ask me in a few weeks how I feel. Setting spray. Like, this look is matte, right down to the setting spray. It's a matte look. So I'm gonna let that set. I'm gonna go and put my lashes on, and then I'm gonna come back at y'all and give you guys my final consensus on Corona V. Alrighty, so the reason this virus is spreading so quickly is because people are out here acting a damn fool. That's the truth. So I just say be mindful, but don't let it completely stop you from living life, you know? Still do the things you enjoy. If you want to work out, go for a jog in the neighborhood. Go to the beach. Go somewhere where you don't have to be on somebody's nasty, sweaty, used mat, literally having to sanitize your entire body when you leave the gym. You never know, and you do want to take all the necessary precautions, but I don't know. I guess only the future can tell us really where this is going to lead. I'm no expert, so I don't know for sure, but I definitely think it's an interesting topic. And of course, I don't want to put out any false information. So now I'm going to move on to lips to kind of complete the look.
Who stole my money?
Oh. Oops. I'm going to take my MAC Chestnut lip liner and I'm going to overline my lips about. This looks so awful. And then I'm gonna be taking this e.l.f. liquid matte lipstick, and this look is so freaking matte, you guys. Everything about it, except for the highlight. So I got this little updo, not doing too much. You feel, you dig, you dig, you dig, you dig, you dig, you dig, you dig.
Feeling myself. Hey, feeling myself.
You're about like wearing this bandana today. Even though I know it's doing the most. I'm wearing this bandana, so A, I cannot touch my face, and B, if I'm out here coughing in these streets and hacking because I'm a pothead, I don't want people to feel like I'm coughing in their face. So Corona 2020 was good. Life. I'm glad that I have a little bit of time to take a step back and, you know, focus on my YouTube, focus on my content. As time goes on, I do kind of fear what's gonna happen because right now I am out of work, as I know a lot of us are because of protocols, and I do work in the nightlife, so I don't know where this is gonna lead. Let's start a conversation down below. Make sure that you give this video a huge thumbs up. Comment down below what you want me to talk about in my next video. I'm thinking about doing a quarantine vlog tomorrow because tomorrow's Monday and I'm going to Costco. You literally can't get into Costco on the weekends right now because there's lines around the block of people trying to buy toilet paper. So tomorrow I'm gonna be going shopping for my quarantine. I am literally one of those people because like I have weak little lungs from smoking that reefer, and I'm not trying to get sick, and I still want to see my grandparents. Like that's really my main concern. Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, well, even if this turns out to not be like the case and it's not really as bad as like everyone's hyping it up to be, I'm here for the views, baby. I'm here for the views. I'm here for the clickbait. I'm here for it, okay? Anyways, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in my next video.